Hi, it's Boris Deadlift from thirstgym.com, and today we're talking about an exercise called the Boris Deadlift. Now, this is a deadlift variation used at hammering your position and improving your position on your deadlift, and think of it as like partial deadlifts. So the big thing here is obviously this was by Boris Shako, but you're going to take the bar and basically pull it to the halfway position and then stop. Now, the one little tweak that I like to make to this is implementing an isometric hold. Now, the original exercise is going to be pulling it to basically around your kneecap level and straight back down, and then performing a full repetition. So we're going to talk about that, and this can be used for either stance, conventional or sumo. I'm going to show you conventional today. So you're just going to perform a normal conventional deadlift mechanics where your feet are, all that's going to stay the same. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that bar to, again, around my kneecap level. So the original exercise, arms are long, here, pull, back down. Okay, then you would perform a full repetition on, wherever you really want it to be, the second rep, third rep, fourth rep. That's all up to your programming measures, but you go here and then pull. Okay, now the reason this exercise is great is because it teaches you to push off the floor. So that's why I think you see this a lot with conventional deadlifters, is because it teaches that ability to push. They try to pull too much, and then what happens? Butt kicks back, back's coming around, and then you're going to get to this position, and then you're not going to be able to lock it out, right? So by getting more pushes through the ground with the bar in your hand, you implement that more, and then you can carry it over to a full repetition to see how it feels, and also it improves your positioning, which then improves your power off the floor, which then improves the amount of weight that you can deadlift. Now, like I mentioned, I like to implement this with pauses. Now, the reason I like this for pauses, we can spend more time at a biomechanically disadvantage-based position. So the hardest part of the conventional pull is usually not off the floor. You'll see conventional guys break stuff off the floor all day. Where they have an issue is this transition right around the knee, okay? So what we want to try to do here is, as I push, I want to hold here. This is the most disadvantaged position. You can see from the side view here. There's a lot of gap here, okay? But from here, that gap goes away, and when I'm here, that gap starts to go away. So big gap, that means the bars are furthest away from me, which means it's going to be the hardest position biomechanically. Now, by having pauses there, and then going back down, we can get more time under tension there, which is going to strengthen the muscles, the tissues. We're also going to really improve some synchronicity of the exercises, so everything's going to sync together nicely. And then what you're going to find is that your motor units and everything work better together, and then you can pull more weight, right? So what I like to do, again, implementing the pauses. Arms stay long. I'm going to do 3 plus 1. So 3 pulls with a pause. There's about a 1 count pause, and then I'm going to do a full repetition. So arms long. Here, 1001, 1001, 1001, and then all the way through. Okay. Now it's very similar to a pause deadlift. I like this better than the pause deadlift because, again, you get more of those pushes, you get more time under tension there, and you can still get a full rep as fast as you can from the ground. Okay. Again, you can do this sumo as well. Use it for the stance that applies most to you. Now, I like this as a supplemental based exercise, so something to build your deadlift. Again, I also like doing the 3 plus 1 or 2 plus 1, so 2 pushes and a full pull, or 3 pushes and a full pull, implementing it from a 1 to a 3 count pause. So the 1 count pause definitely works better as you get closer towards meets. You don't really want to pause as much. You want to try to hone in that specificity, but maybe that's still a weak link that you're still trying to address a little bit before the meet approaches. But if you're super far out from a meet, using something as long as a 3 count pause can be great, because it's going to make you own that position. You're going to make sure your lower back, glutes, hamstrings, everything's good and strong, but also requires significantly less weight, so you can improve that position with less load, which I think ultimately is a better bang for your buck, rather than having to load up on the weight as much as possible. So I think when it comes to programming this, 2 to 4 reps, and ideally this is something where you want your RPE to be lower, 6s and 7s. There's no point should you do a rep and you feel like they get grindy and you start to struggle a lockout. Okay, you're really trying to implement that push off the floor, so it should be fast. You should be able to hold it if you're doing pauses like the way that I like to do it, and then be able to explode on that last rep off the floor, and then that would be your set. So if you got any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks. Have a great day.